Do I have a second? Oh, I'm sorry. I need to take the roll. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Coleman.
Aye.
Hudson.
Here.
Bean. Brown. Carter. Lewis. Williams.
Present.
Okay, we have Williams. Okay, we have 5.
With 5 members present, we have a quorum. I now make a motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second? I'm sorry, we now have before us House Bill 999, introduced by Representative Fowler, which modifies provisions relating to the State Tax Commission. I think this bill is probably going to have a lot of discussion on the floor if we have time to get it to the floor, but I'd like as a favor if we're able to continue it in its current form. I don't have any amendments, so we kind of had to have conversations about that, but haven't moved things forward. So anyways, I now make a motion to take up House Bill 999. Do I have a second? Second. Senator Carter seconds. It's now before the committee. I now move to pass, do pass House Bill 999. Do I have a second? Senator Carter seconds. Is there any discussion on the bill?
Yeah, could someone kind of go in details on it with me? I know I spoke with the representative briefly, but I don't want to get this hung up in committee, but I want to
Representative Fowler, it sounds like Senator Williams has a few questions. If you could come forward so that he can ask you those questions.
Good morning. Thanks for.
Good. Yeah, thank you, Representative. And again, I spoke with you briefly yesterday. I kind of want to just get another overview of kind of what your intentions are with this and kind of what the bill does. Because again, I don't want it to get hung up in committee. I'm not sure where everybody is on it. But again, I want to just kind of make sure it's not a situation where the state's infringing on local government or creating some type of issue there.
So, great question, and because there has been a lot of concern about, and some, I guess the bill only takes effect if a county raises assessments to a level that the State Tax Commission would find not acceptable. If they issue an order to reduce property assessments, then if the county would have 60 days to do that, they could appeal for another 30, but after 90 days, if there's still no action to comply with the State Tax Commission order, then the State Tax Commission would have the option of withholding from 0 to 100% of the sales tax, and they would do that through the Department of Revenue. The Department of Revenue would hold an account for this money, and then as soon as the State Tax Commission order is fulfilled, the money would go to the county. Okay? Now, and I realize that withholding money from a county can sound like a stern consequence, and what would the county do? That's an excellent question. At the same time, I want to say that the reason the county got in this situation is not complying with the State Tax Commission order. And the bill specifically says that it has to be in order to reduce property assessments and not increase them. There's a lot of concern out there that this will be used to, this technique will be used to raise property assessments, but that's just not written in the law, and we made sure of that because there's lots of controversy on that side of the issue. So,
thank you for that. And I guess, and I'm not a tax expert, so I want to make sure that I, fully understand from an assessment standpoint, and this particular language would only impact Jackson County, correct?
well, Jackson County is the only county that I'm aware of that has not complied with the State Tax Commission order to reduce this assessment. So in that case, yes. And also, the bill would not be retroactive. They have not complied with it. That's in the courts right now. Now, if the State Tax Commission, if this was to pass, State Tax Commission issue an order to reduce it in the future, then it could be triggered, yes. So,
okay.
And I think there will certainly be situations in the future where a tax, they've asked for, the State Tax Commission asked for an order to reduce, but the broadness and the depth may not be so big, so that's where the State Tax Commission has some authority to go from 0 to 100. They may choose 0% because maybe they're working with the county and they can work out the details.
What information would the State Tax Commission have to be able to make these determinations or assessments?
I
Or
think
what would it be based off of, I guess?
So that's an excellent question for the State Tax Commission. I know that they have the ability to go in and review, but constitutional authority to review counties and the assessments to make sure they would stay within a certain amount of ranges. You don't want any one county getting too high or too low, and they have the expertise and knowledge to go in and review those. I cannot get into the particular details of how they do that, but I think that their experience level is respected, and that's how they get the committee together.
And it's complex, so I don't really expect you to be an expert on that. I'm not either. So I'll tell you where I'm at with it. I'm going to hope that there's enough people on the committee to get this out of committee, because I do want you to have a fair opportunity to have this in front of the full body. So I'll make that assessment based on where the committee is as we vote, but there is a lot of questions, and I'm just not really sure about how you implement this from a state perspective, and I haven't had any conversations with any local governments, including in St. Louis. So, I want to do that due diligence, and again, go on record that I appreciate you've been reaching out to people, including myself. So I think there should be some deference to that, but it's very convoluted for me. So again, hopefully we have enough people on the committee to help you get this out and give it a fair chance in front of the body. But I like to continue to talk about it because I'm not 100% sure what the unintended consequences may be.
Sure, I appreciate that feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Any further discussion, Senator Carter?
I appreciate the opportunity to have the discussion. I think all of us are really concerned about this issue. My assessor is also somebody who I feel like I haven't had quite the chance to reach out to and talk to, but I do know that she's concerned when the State Tax Commission tells her to come in and raise rates, simply because that she's an elected official.
Yes.
That should be able to represent the community in the way that she's trying to, and so it puts a lot of pressure on our local assessors to do something that they don't necessarily want to do, and yet I don't know how much of our community realizes that so much of that is out of their hands. And so anything that we can try to do to help our community actually have our assessors represent the communities that they live in would be helpful. And I think that your intent is to do that, right? Where in regards to the tax commission forcing our assessors to increase rates, is that right? Or
No. If the county assessor, and I think like 80% of our counties are probably less than 80%, and that's where the State Tax Commission would like them to increase.
yeah, they're putting pressure on them right now to raise.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this bill there's no consequence, there's no extra authority for the State Tax Commission to push rates, assessments up. So, and that's where the perception is if they can do it to make counties lower the assessments, then they probably are going to have the same authority to make them raise it, and that's what we've been having to communicate. No, they really don't have that authority. The bill only works in one direction. We would not want to give the State Tax Commission the right to add consequences if a county does not raise, because they may have good reasons that is really, you're right, it's between the assessor and their constituents as to how they manage that.
Which is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the tax commission try to leverage on our assessors to increase. So for the people out there that are listening, right now, your assessor is being compelled to try to increase property tax rates and assessment value when they don't want to from the State Tax Commission.
I absolutely agree with that. I continue to hear feedback on that the State Tax Commission is requesting counties to do that. This bill gives them no extra authority on that side of the issue, but I understand if the amount of counties, if their distribution gets too far out, that it could trigger a statewide reassessment, which I don't think that would be good for most of our counties. And
Well,
they're-
I'm just wondering how much, if you have 80% of the counties who don't want to raise their property taxes or their assessment values, maybe it's the state tax commission that we have a problem with.
Fair assessment, and I guess I'm here on behalf mostly of Jackson County citizens who have seen the opposite, where they got raised too high, and there's concern that if a state tax commission order is issued, that it's not complied with. But at risk right now, our concerns is Jackson County citizens who really want to see something done to give that state tax commission order authority and consequence.
So tell me what would happen if your assessor in Jackson County is elected, yes or no?
It is, currently it's not. There's a HJR to request that they do be elected,
Okay.
so
So that's part of the problem, I would imagine.
could
Yeah.
very well be, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, good, excellent point.
Thank you, Senator.
So-
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Coleman. Aye. Hudson. Aye. Bean. Aye. Brown. Carter. Lewis. Williams. 4-2.
By your vote of 4-2, you have voted out. Do pass House Bill 999. I now make a motion to end executive session.
Second.
So moved, and this will conclude the hearing on government efficiency.